Hello Dallas fans, my name's Mike, massive Dallas fan. I've been in awe of the hashtag Save Dallas campaign. Whether we get Dallas back through this campaign or not, it's been a success. Millions of fans around the world signing petitions, doing the hashtag Save Dallas has been fantastic. You can all give yourselves a massive pat on the back, not too hard, I don't want you to hurt yourselves or anything. We got a tweet from Patrick Duffy yesterday saying that this week was pivotal. They were going to raise their efforts on the PR. It does beg the question what the PR has been like before this week, but we won't go there. Basically, Warner Brothers are up in the ante this week, and Patrick Duffy believes after this week, if nothing happens, chances of Dallas being picked up by a network are slimmer. So we have to ask ourselves why Dallas hasn't been picked up by another network. I think I was really naive at the beginning that Dallas would be picked up just like that. It hasn't happened. The things that don't help Dallas is that we live in an era where the fantasy TV show is king. Arrow, The Flash, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, Doctor Who. Walking Dead, Doctor Who and Game of Thrones are three of the biggest shows in the world, and they're fantasy shows. A show like Dallas is really hard to capture the imagination in these days. The numbers were really good in the sense of around 2 million live audiences and around 3 million on demand. Not bad really, so you're looking at about 5 million people. So it's still a good catch for people, but the truth of the matter is, us Dallas fans are mostly 25 plus. I'm 42 years old. That doesn't really inspire a network. They don't care about us. They care about the kids, the teenagers. That's who they want, because those kids have got disposable income. That's who they want watching their networks. It's as simple as that. It may not be fair, but that's the way it is. And they're really the kind of things that have hampered Dallas. But I've got another theory what's hampering Dallas, and that's Cynthia Cedray. Before I start, I love Cynthia Cedray. I think she's a great writer, a great showrunner. I love her version of Dallas. But she could be hampering the efforts. Not on purpose. Maybe the networks just are not confident about her running a Dallas that they pick up. And if Warner Brothers are sticking to their guns over Cynthia, this could be a sticking point as well. So these are some of the reason that we're not getting Dallas picked up. I am absolutely in awe of whoever come up with the sending bottles of barbecue sauce to networks. That's brilliant. We've got to do that, guys. We've had tweetathons, European tweetathons. We've had international tweetathons. We've had American tweetathons, and they've all been extremely successful. I really have a lot of admiration for my fellow Dallas fans. But I've got to look beyond this week. Just because Patrick said chances are slimmer after this week, that doesn't mean they're impossible. We have to start thinking of other ways after this week. The reality is that we may not get picked up, probably won't get picked up after this week. So we have to look at it. For me, what I'm going to be doing, and what I'm doing at the moment, I'm developing a concept of a relaunch Dallas that will continue from the original, which will continue from Cynthia Cedray, but will move on really quickly. My idea really is to bring the long lost daughter of Katherine Wentworth. Now, nobody knows that she's her daughter. We wouldn't have known that she had a daughter up till now. And she's come back to Dallas for revenge. Revenge on the Ewings and revenge on the Barneses. And she's just married John Ross. Of course, John Ross or the Ewings or no one know that she's Katherine's daughter. So while all this is going on, she has plotted revenge on both the families. And that's what will be the concept. Also, unlike Cynthia Cedray, obviously, we're going to say a couple of years have passed. We're going to say the Ewings and Ewing Oil or Ewing Global, whatever you want to call it, is a really successful business now. That the Ewings are really wealthy now. They're back on top. And obviously, a lot of the things would stand from Cynthia's era. Bobby and Anne would still be married. I wouldn't know what I would do with all the players, but that's what I would be looking at. The strength of it would be Katherine Wentworth's secret daughter coming back for revenge, and you work from it from there. What I would also do, I would have Gary and Val living at Southwark. I would want to bring Gary and Val and Bobby and Betsy all part of it. Bobby and Betsy, how old would they be now, for example? Surely they're going to be in their 20s, teenagers. I think they might be a bit older. Someone can let me know about that. It'd be great to have Bobby and Betsy there, the new generation. So you'd have Bobby and Betsy, John Ross. Christopher would have to stay dead because I don't want to mess about with bringing people back from the dead. We'd still have Ryland. We'd still have all the players that Seventh has put in place. But I would just extend the Ewing family. There's not enough people living in Southfork as far as I'm concerned. So with Bobby and Betsy, Gary and Val there, yes, they will be there. And there's no reason why Ray couldn't live at Southfork. Why the family can't be there. Why it can't be a bigger family again. But it has to appeal to the younger audience. Of course it has to appeal to us loyal Dallas fans as well. But what we want to bring back to it is a glitz, a glamour, but the grit of the Ewing family that we had in the original. The Ewings were, in the classic Dallas, they were filthy rich, but Bobby still wore jeans, he still wore kind of that cowboy shirt. He still was a real person. The Ewings were real people, and they weren't kind of these people living in these people living in a manor. We're not talking about Downtown Abbey here. We're talking about these people being gritty, down-to-earth people as well. Now, I would still have Nicholas Trevino in it. I thought he was a brilliant character. We're still going to have Emma. We're still going to have all that. But yes, I would be going for it with this secret daughter of Catherine Wentworth. And she knows a lot of things about a lot of people. And I want to play the Pam game. Now, obviously, as far as we know, Pam is dead. When we last saw her in the actual show, she had a few months to live. She just had plastic surgery, so she's dead. And of course, Christopher was told by those people that she was dead as well. But this might not be so. We could play a little search for Pam's story. I mean, it doesn't mean we're going to see her, but we could play with that as well. I think what we have to do is find a new arc for Dallas, so we're not harping on to what was going on 30 years ago, so we can move the show forward. And it has to be, I like the way it's fast paced, the way Cynthia had that excitement and that pace, but that's why I want to bring Bobby and Betsy into it, because already you've got two younger characters in it. I will probably make Bobby a kind of an arse and Betsy kind of a shrinking violet. I've got lots of ideas, but that's where I'm at the moment. And I mean, I would implore all Dallas fans who are creative to come up with what they would do if they were relaunching Dallas or rebooting Dallas. Now, I haven't gone down the reboot way because I know that will make a lot of people angry, because that means you're cancelling out 30 years of history. But there is also a way of doing something that's kind of a semi-reboot and a semi-relaunch. If any of you have seen the Star Trek movie that J.J. Abrams did in 2009, he did a similar thing, and it was genius, and it worked. We might have to be looking for this fight to get Dallas on TV again, maybe a 5-year battle, and we've got to roll our sleeves up and do this. I know my concept might not be perfect. I've only just started working on it, and there will be changes, but I'm not saying that my idea is going to get picked up. This week we might get this show picked up, and that's great, and I'm all for that, but we have to think outside the box here. You're all doing a great job. I've got so much admiration for you all. Let's keep the fight going. Any new ideas, just do them. Whether they work or not, whether they're stupid ideas or genius ideas, just do them. The fight goes on, people. Save Dallas. Let's do this.